Blue. This? Sneak? I think I hear goblins, and I definitely smell them. This is from Popper, right? Apparently I have 2 of them, without knowing. Come on, Moto, I believe in you. Dingo, what do you think about a GDS list cutting drowns altogether, adding in a 19th land, and casting a Ragavan on turn 1? Hold on, do I want to cast a Ragavan on turn 1? I think so. Rabbies. Adding an additional Terminate and 2 Seasoned Pyromancers. The side will cut Giganta and add 2 Invasive Surgeries. I don't think you want to play Seasoned Pyromancer in GDS. If anything, I would play Fable in GDS. I think Fable's a much better card for GDS. Currently in the top 8 of an RCQ with Scam, 4x is a Breach in top 8. How do you board? Well, my friend, if I were to board against Breach, I guess you're playing this one. I imagine you're playing this list. You want to board against Breach, bring in Necromancias, bring in a Braid, Engineered Explosives Hearse. I would probably play 1 Engineered Explosives, the 1 Hitotsugu, not the Magus. Bring in the Fatal Pushes, cut the Lightning Bolts. I'd probably bring in these 9 cards. And I would cut the Croxas, I would cut the Whisper, Lily, Lightning Bolts. How many cards is that? That's 6. I need to make 2 more cuts. Probably trim on a Spyro. I think Blood Moon's fine. You just gotta trim 1 other card. Maybe like Ragavan. Or something like this. Just to give you a rough idea. Because Ragavan can line up poorly against Ledger Shredder on the draw. So I don't care too much if they're playing Ledger Shredder. They have all 4 copies of Ragavan. I think I'm just playing this in passing. I did try the new Squee when Dominaria first came out, and it was very underwhelming. Was not a fan of it. I think I just pass. Yeah, also if you want the full sideboard guide, you can type !Patreon, but I'm more than happy to help you out if you are asking for a specific matchup. But if you want to know like a lot of matchups, then the best place to go would be my Patreon. Raises outside assistance concerns. What are the like official rulings for outside assistance? You're just like not supposed to have outside assistance at all. I'm gonna make decisions here. Free FaceTime for bold decisions? No, but you can message me. You want to like message me on Patreon and be like, yo, Dingo, how do I do this? I'd be like, yeah, got you. Test of talents. Guess I'm gonna take the surgical. Do I care if they test of talents by feign death? Not really. Between matches, it's cool. It makes sense. Can you use me as a professional reference? Absolutely. I mean, so does the surgical extraction, right? Because the way feign death is worded, it goes to the graveyard, then comes back. So if I don't take the surgical extraction, they just get to take all my griefs. And then that significantly reduces the amount of CMC that's in my deck, and then Tasha's Hideous Laughter becomes way better. Reference for a job application? Yeah, sure. I may not know you, but I know you. I don't think I want these. I'll at least discard 1. That's all part of the scam. All part of the ploy. Visions for redraw. Only 14 cards off the Tashas. It's not bad. Did they mill Underdog? They have, where's my Underdog? I miss you, Underdog. Why would you fetch? I feel like with crabs in your deck, you don't want to fetch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. So, I'm 1 mana off of doing this thing where I go Fury, kill Fury, Undying Malice the Fury, copy. I guess that's still the same amount of damage. Never mind, it doesn't copy the counter. I got a little bit too lost in the sauce. Doesn't copy the counter. Would have been a sweet line though. Alright, go. Don't kill me. From 21 cards. It could not kill me from 21 cards. In the famous words of 21 Savage. 21. Alright. Surgical in. I think Fatal Push is fine. I usually just board up against Mill. I don't think you really need to cut anything. So I'll just bring in like the Magus. Maybe some Hearses. Actually, Hitotsugu is probably better. Just trying to like get the most bang for my buck when it comes to upping my curve. 65 is fine. I respect Mill so little that I usually just sideboard at random, which is probably not a great thing to do, because I have lost my Winnenden in a challenge to Mill before. But like, come on. Braid for bridge, sure. No, come back. I do hate you, Zeriok, that's right. Take it very personally. You beat 3x Voidwalker. I don't know how many archive traps they have in hand. Just board up against Mill. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. Just board up against Mill and they're like, eh, it'll probably go fine. It'll probably be okay. I don't know, I'm just going to cast a Dothi every turn in this game and see what happens. Swamp, bold move. I guess now I'm going to go fetch and play Hitotsugu. Never mind. The plans have taken a turn. Blitz Underdog's going to win you the game. I'm telling you, Underdog is underrated. You have Archive Trap, Murderous Cut, Visions, Rune Crab, Fractured Sanity. I will take your Murderous Cut, and I will take your Archive Trap. Alright, attack you with mediocre beats for the rest of the game. Need Shadow Storm and Modern. What does Shadow Storm even do? Shadow Storm MTG. Oh my god, the direct counter. Deals 2 damage to each creature with Shadow. What is happening? I got Field of Rune. I've been gotten. Now I get 2 Ancestral. Buy crabs. Why did the challenge disappear? That's right here. Just all the way at the top. They have 7 cards in hand. Alright, that's a lot of cards. Hey Spider, it's going alright. 4-1 our last league. Looks like we're probably going to beat Mill in this league. We got 20 minutes before the challenge starts. Registration should still be open. Another 20 minutes. You've exiled a decent amount of stuff. They cast their 3rd Ancestral Recall. Which win already? Trying. I need to reset this camera. Probably. They've given up. Basic mountain. You're doing me so dirty right now. It's burn. Basic mountain. Doing me so well right now. Do wish I could stop drawing Blood Moon though. I'll throw this Ragavan into the Rift Bolt. Cut the basic mountain. You were, John. The old ignore Ragavan plan, huh? Bold move. See if it pays off, opponent. I'm at 11, you're at 12. Bolts the Dothy. Got decisions to make. I mean, I don't... You can do whatever you want with the list. I think I just terminate this thing, though. Just get 11 versus 11, or 9 versus 9 parity here. And then just say go. I literally qualified with the deck. I really don't care what you do with Scam. I give my take on it. If you have a different take, then, you know, sure, why not? Magic is a very diverse metagame. Everybody can tune the deck in their own way. It's not like I'm some ascended Scam being. Lightning Helix? Rude. Oh, I should have skull cracked them in response. That was not great. I forgot I could skull crack them. Registration closed already? That's kind of crazy. Post life gain skull crack of shame. I've beaten the burn opponent. Having 2 dead blood moons in my hand. Get out of here, blood moon. Get out of here, Thoughtseize. Fatal push. Torok. Braid. Engineered explosives. Pyrite spell bomb. I cut more cards. I think Hidetsugu is like kind of bad most of the time. I don't think the underdogs are great either. Nor is the Kroxa. If I had to choose between one Kroxa and underdog in this matchup, I would take the underdog because at least it blocks as a 2-drop. Beat him on turn 3. This hand is fantastic. Goblin Guide, Swift Spear, Swift Spear. Okay. Basic Swamp, Scam you. Eidolon, Boros, Charm, Rift Bolt. I'm gonna take Boros, Charm, Rift Bolt, I think. I don't really care about the Eidolon. I have 3 pieces of removal in my hand. The Boogie Bomb to replace the Spell Bomb. I'm ready. All I've ever wanted was to cast the Boogie Bomb. Ooh, land. Free land. I think I'm gonna spend the Abrade on Goblin Guide. And then they're gonna play Eidolon, which I can Fatal Push later. I also have Terminate up this way as well. Take my beats for 1. I don't want free lands. No, I'm good. I'm alright on that. I got a 2-turn clock. You're the Underworld Breach player from yesterday? What's up? Good games, good games. Suspends Rift Bolt. Dies. Doesn't die. Dies. Doesn't die. So I have to Rift Bolt this Grief. How many lands away am I getting? I'm 2 lands away from getting back this grief. Quite a ways away. Yeah, Breach can be tricky. Fury. Fable. Only drew a land. I don't imagine they're attacking me. Alright, I will attack you though. Forces the block there, and I get to play the grief out and then hold up lightning bolt. And I think that's pretty much GG. I don't know what they could top deck here. You wouldn't have attacked with the Goblin Shaman. I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's not a single thing they can top deck. I guess if they top deck Lightning Helix, they get another shot. But it didn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, they can't cast spells, I suppose, if I don't attack, but then they can just attack me back. It's kind of the same thing. I don't know. It didn't really matter. They were 100% dead regardless. Yeah, I think this build is quite powerful. Sucks. So had I... Creeping Chill. Interesting. I'll just say go. It happens. That's magic. I don't know. I think I took what I felt was the best line there, but maybe it just wasn't the best line. Pitching the Fury probably would have won me that game in hindsight, but it's so impossible to say what they're gonna draw, right? That's why I hate like looking at the hindsight sometimes. I'm just like, well, I played to what I felt was my best out. In Scam, do you ever turn one Scam a 3/3 Fury? Never. Like almost never. 3/3 Fury dying to Lightning Bolt is just the worst. Oftentimes against iteration decks, your top decks aren't better though. That's the thing. If you're playing against an iteration deck, 9 times out of 10 your top decks are going to be worse. That's what makes Murktide kind of a tricky matchup, is that if you can't really get them into top deck mode. Because if you get them into top deck mode, they have better top decks than you. They have Murktide and Iteration. That deck just has Iteration. But if I drew a land, they drew Iteration, then I'm so far behind. But obviously vice versa could happen, where they draw a land, I draw something crazy. But I think against Iteration decks, going into top deck mode is a lot more scary than you think it is. Even if they draw a creature and I draw like a land, if they draw a DRC with Delirium on, which is a 3/3, and I don't draw an answer to it, and I draw something like a Dathi, then I'm already super far behind too. That's why I was trying to leverage getting the Fury as a body down, so that way I can kind of race them. Plus, if they just draw like a bunch of burn spells, and I don't draw any pressure to pressure them, because they have Lightning Bolt, they have Lava Dart, etc., etc., and I don't have a way of pressuring them while they're at 16, it gives them infinite time to be able to iterate into Lightning Bolt, iterate into Lava Dart, and then just be able to out-resource me and then eventually burn me out of the game without me being able to clock them sufficiently. And that's why I didn't pitch the Fury. What the hell am I playing against? I don't even know what I'm playing against. Some graveyard deck. Yeah, in the Murktide matchup, I agree. I think you want to be attacking their... You want to be like one for wanting them as much as possible, and like trying to get yourself into a position where you have a threat and you can just keep attacking while stripping away cards from them. I don't know. It's weird. Every matchup has a different dynamic. Guess Croaks is bad. Spent too much time talking. I don't think this hand's good enough. I don't know. There's some like graveyard decks. So maybe Hitotsugu's fine. I don't think I'm gonna mull this hand. Let me just put back the Shizo. Drop the Shizo here. I think Rakdos top deck's better than Murktide. Strongly disagree. I think Murktide top decks are 10 times better than yours. Even with Spyro being in the deck. If they draw a Murktide, if they draw an iteration into a Murktide, you're done. Assuming both players have an empty board, empty hand, they have much better top decks because they almost always have a graveyard in the late game. As Dothy never gets to stick around in that matchup because they have infinite heats and bolts. So they're pretty much always going to have a stacked graveyard, and you can never beat an 8/8 flyer unless you top deck exactly like a Terminate. Counterspell's not even a bad draw in the top deck war. They draw a counterspell, you draw an impactful spell, they counter it, then they're back to top decking. Like, that's not a bad top deck. Shredder's also like not that bad of a top deck. It can be bad, but I don't think counterspell's ever a bad top deck for them. They just get to hold it up and do nothing. They're playing like Esper Dredgevine. They don't cut it completely. They trim maybe like one or two. I think it's very wrong for them to cut it completely. If I were playing Murktide, I'd probably trim one. She's milling me. What's up, Zeratul? That's a lot of things. Big two. You got me. Game one, they cast a Faithful Mending. Well, apparently they're doing whatever this is now. I think I'm inclined to terminate this thing and then just leave up an Undying effect. Maybe I'm supposed to terminate this, Undying, and then cast it. Yeah, sure. Revenge of the Linear Aggro decks. I'm not convinced they can beat a Dothy. Morning, Dino. We are taking a new approach on the list. In the 5-color Leyline Binding meta, we are innovating, or at least trying to innovate. It's a lot of damage. Maybe I'm supposed to hold back the Prized Amalgam here. Where do they mill? 8 command. Oh, Vengevine. I also get a Creeping Chill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I'm just attacking with this. Saying go. Also K command, buy back Fury. At any point I can Creeping Chill. There is no right answer in Magic Blank. Never is, never was, never will be. So it's not like I'm taking anything personally. don't how do I phrase this? Don't mistake disagreement for hostility, because it's not. It's just discussion, you know? Except for Janini. Hate on Janini all the time, forever, always. Yep. Let's go Malice here. And then cast their Creeping Chill. Hack them, Fury these. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, I'm at 4, so I don't die to, excuse me, a Creeping Chill. Because Brutality also hits creativity. My Hubris, my Greed. I guess I'm going to mold to 3. Alright, let's put the grease back here. So I'll finish up this league and then I'll send y'all over to DT. Just burn again. Oh, it's just creativity. This is probably just creativity. Take the Fable. Sure. What would you like to take? Is it the Terminate? Or is it the Lightning Bolt? Takes the Terminate. Yep. I'm gonna bolt that. Blood Moon was a pretty good draw. Now if I can kill this Fable on curve, then I'll be perfectly fine, I think. If I can't though, I'm in trouble. Discarded Archon Dwarven Mine. Nope, that doesn't let me kill it. They have creativity here, and they get the creativity. There's reflection, which is not great for me. Oh, they don't have it. Red card? Red card. This thing's gotta die. Hit the Needle Baby Fable. It's happened multiple times. Spell Pierce, Tainted Indulgence. Guess I'll take Tainted Indulgence. I think it's happened to me like twice now. Black Source Waiting Room. That was a good draw. We have a basic, they have a basic. Everything's fine. This is the type of deck I was trying to play against. Oh, I forgot to play the Ragavan. Whoops. That's fine. Post-combat Ragavan of Shame. We do have a mana dork. They've given up. Engineered Explosives. Hitotsugu. I don't think Magus is good enough. I never really bring in Magus in this type of a matchup. I don't feel like it does enough. Take out the Kroxa, the Underdog. Othi's hit or miss. It seems like they might be on the Grixis version because they're playing Tainted Indulgence. So I think I want to leave the Dothis in the deck. I think I want to cut the Lightning Bolts. I don't know. Bolt's only really good against Fable. It's not that amazing against anything else. Cut 4 lands, you're right. And Trip and Terminate. And a Ragavan. Done. Stay on 64, you're right. I don't know if his hand's good enough, but it does have Necromention in it, so I think it's probably fine. If I give him Mono Blue Affinity a try, I've played Affinity in the past, and I've always just been underwhelmed by it. I've actually always just lost to a Force of Vigor, like 9 times out of 10. Force of Vigor is unbeatable. What binders do I use? I really like the Monster Binder. There's like a specific Monster Binder that lays like incredibly flat. That one's my favorite. Side loading, not top loading. The cards don't slip out. But it's not like the one with the cheap plastic cover. It's something like this. It's got like a textured cover, and those ones are like much higher quality for some reason. Although if you get these on like Amazon, sometimes they'll be like really old. So hopefully they tap out here. If you get it on Amazon, sometimes it'll be like melted. So you have to like separate every single one of the pages, which is mad annoying. You have 3 Archons. They brought in the Emrakul. They don't have Transmogrify though. Why did you bring in the Emrakul? Hmm. They don't have Transmogrify, so I should have just named Creativity. Alright, well, now we know. Now we know. It's the right thing to do, but a lot of people don't do it. But I'm always like kind of surprised when they do. It's the exact same list. Hell yeah, bubble tea. Let's go. That's awesome. Maybe they forgot they boarded in the Emrakul. Alright, we're gonna name Creativity next time. Now I know, and knowledge is power. Most of the time it's better to understand the blue-red matchup. The blue-red matchup is very, very difficult. It takes a lot of time and practice. I'm gonna start naming Creativity now. The underdog form is essentially Croxa number 2, but instead of eating your graveyard as a resource, it's a 4-mana recursive threat that lets you continually draw cards. So I like the 1-1 split between underdog and Croxa. I think that's a big improvement for the deck. I don't know how I feel about the Fable Blood Moon package. I get it. It was good. It was good, except for in the qualifier where we played against Burn twice, at which point the Fable Blood Moon package became significantly worse because Spyro is just so good against Burn. Just being 3 bodies that block. I think this hand's fine. Reasonable. Turn 1 Ragavan. Turn 2 Dothy, probably. Mm-hmm. I'm mulliganing to 6. F6. Alright, let's try to get him with Ragavan here. It'd be nice to be able to go like Dothy Thoughtseize. Potentially snag an Archon. Does 6-3 make top 64? Probably. Looks like they have an answer. Bolt. Push. I have been pushed. I might Thoughtseize my Thoughtseize here. I wonder if we're gonna take... I don't know, they have a lot of options. Anyone have any idea why MTGO lags like crazy? Exclamation mark quality. That's just how MTGO is, unfortunately. It's dated, it's slow, it sucks. It's Moto. It's a feature. That's right, it's a feature. Creativity persists. I will take your creativity. I'm really surprised they didn't take my Thoughtseize. If I were them, I would have taken Thoughtseize. HCA. I guess I'm just attacking and saying go. These are gonna kill them next turn. I can even rebirth one of them. Going to 5. Elf Kid. Playing for the 4-0. I am not a big fan of this hand. Report them if they're not on elves. Oh, do I Hogak on one? Probably Hogak on one. Hogak, go. He's gonna feel dumb if they're on elves. Oh, shit. I think I just attack, play Dothy. Most of the time I do. There's very few things that can deal with a Fury on one except for an opposing Fury. Like a 4/4 Fury is just big game. Imagine if they Vapor Snag me, just like in the challenge. Or the Super Qualifier. Man, that Vapor Snag was brutal. Vapor Snag my grief. So was the Gut Shot. The Gut Shot was just the worst. I scrubbed out of the showcase. I played against essentially Burn twice. Ooh, DRC. Don't mind if I do. I played against Blue Red Prowess playing Gut Shot, and they gut shotted by turn 1 Ragavan. I could not recover after playing a Swift Spear, and then I played against. What do you have here? Bolt Heat. Heat. I have lethal? No, I don't. Yeah, I got Prowess on. Another Dothy. Another day, another Dothy. Alright, let's play second Dothy, say go. And I played against actual Burn after that. I don't have Delirium. If I had Delirium, then it would have been lethal. They've given up. Blood Moons come out for sure. See, I metagamed like a whole bunch of Blood Moons Fran because I was expecting a bunch of Leyline Bindings, and I just played against like Burn twice. It was so sad. It's like somebody call an ambulance, but for me, yeah. This matchup's tricky. I actually don't think I want the Pirate Spellbomb. Change my mind. Turn 1 Fury, always fantastic. I am gonna keep this hand. This is a very, very good hand against them. Turn 1 Bolt for the Ragavan. I have a Hearse to clean up their graveyard, which is what I really care about, is this Hearse. Hearse is like a fantastic card to mulligan to. As long as you can do board control on the early threats, which we have via the Lightning Bolt, then I think we should be okay with this Hearse. Not even trying to bolt that. I think I just let it go. I might play a Ledger Shredder this turn, and if they do, then I want to be able to bolt it instead. Bin to Heat. They might be looking for second land. Alright, now I'm going to bolt this thing. Because if they have Spell Pierce, I'd almost prefer them to just like Spell Pierce this Lightning Bolt, as opposed to Spell Piercing my Hearse. But there's a good chance I just check for Spell Pierce with this Grief anyways. Just to see. Yeah, I don't think I care about this Grief all that much. Going to check for Spell Pierce. I don't think they have a Spell Pierce. Holy fuck, they have a Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce, Ledger Shredder, Hearse. Alright, take the Spell Pierce. Let's just start eating stuff now. Give me your Expressive Iteration and give me your Spell Pierce. Hand's still very good though. Not sure if it's good enough to beat Double Fable, but it's pretty good. Ledger Shredder go. Would like to take, I think, just 2 more instants and sorceries. I don't want to deal with a big Murktide at the moment. Big Murktide's big scary. May get beaten down by this 1/3 Ledger Shredder. Kind of curious as to why they would do that. Just activated the Hearse main phase, which left an opportunity for me to like Undying something. So I don't think that was the best play by them. I wanted to maximize my mana this turn, so I opted just for the Fable instead of going for like a Dash Ragavan into a Terminate. because it lets them connive, and I'd rather them not connive at this point in the game. It doesn't seem like they're doing anything super threatening. I'm gonna discard this Hearse and this Ragavan. HCA Croxa. I don't have 3 card types yet, but they could. Why don't you do Twitter a lot? I just tweeted like 3 times yesterday. What do you mean? Bolting that. I suppose if they have a heat, then this could be bad for me. So I'm gonna terminate this in response. Alright, I'm good in. Fastest responder of the West. Something like that. I don't like to tweet all that much. I mean, I'll tweet from time to time, but like, if I have like an idea, I'll be like, I think this might be okay, and then I'll tweet it. Don't think I need to necessarily be tweeting like every single day, or like all the time. Rots your brain, you know? Gotta have that good brain juice going. I'm just passing here, waiting. I should not have killed that on end step. You can't copy Croxa. Croxa's legendary. Should have killed that on main phase 2. They made a mistake. Oh, they've given up. Alright, trophy number 6. Trophy number 6 and O2 in the showcase. That's so, like, so sad. So sad. O2 5-0 is the classic. Something like that. Open the chests. Alright, let's open the chests. Forest, Yavimaya Coast. Oh, $1 million. $1 million. All the rest of these are trash. Yeah, these look fantastic. This makes me want to play Standard. I have been dabbling in Standard, though. Standard's kind of fun. Is Blight Step Pathway like $1 billion? That was Bright Climb. It's Bright Step. E-Price, Bright Step Pathway. 7, 8 tickets. I've seen better. Not the worst chest, though. Alright, well, I think this build is, like, incredibly good. I am a big fan of Blood Moon plus Fable at the moment, and I think I'm gonna just play this in tomorrow's challenge. I like the 1-1 split of Croxa and Underdog.
Have you peaked? Bing bong, bing bing bong. Have you peaked?
You're a third-rate duelist.
I can't take it anymore.